Alright, so I'm going to be quickly showing how to replace the charge port on this 13-inch MacBook Air model A1369. So first thing you want to do is remove all the screws on the bottom using a Pentalobe 1.2 or P5 screwdriver. Alright, so you got all these in a rectangular shape. To keep them in order, put them flat side down like this on your desk or wherever in the pattern you remove them. So I just put them in that rectangular shape. These two are much longer than the rest, so if you mix them up, just keep that in mind. The two middle ones back here are the longest. All right, once you've done that, you're going to get in here and you'll pop this out. There's usually a clip here that makes it a little bit difficult. You'll pull on it and you'll hear it click. That's normal. It looks like the customer replaced this battery here, so yeah, anyways, we're gonna disconnect it for now, just to make it safer to work on. To do that, we're gonna be using a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Okay, there are 5 screws holding it in place, so just remove all of those. Okay, there's one in the middle, and then there's one on each corner. All right, again, make sure to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. If this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right, the battery on this actually might also be bad because the customer told me that it's not, like, sometimes it'll shut off when it has like quite a bit of charge, like 30% or something. So I'm pretty sure the battery also needs to be replaced, but originally they were telling me just the charge port. They didn't explain these other issues. So anyways, it's kind of dusty under here. I already cleaned the rest, but I'm going to clean this up real quick. Basically just a toothbrush and brush it into a trash can next to me. Okay. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be a lot better than before. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. You can see it's a lot less dusty. Okay, we're going to set that aside. And let's go ahead now and get the charge port out. So I'm pretty sure I've done another video showing how to replace the screen on this model. So this one's just going to be about replacing the charge port. After disconnecting the battery, it helps to open it up and press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds to drain any residual power. This is pretty important, makes it a lot safer to work on, and if you're touching the screen connector, you really want to do this because if you don't, there's a good chance you can fry the screen, the backlight circuit, or the cable and the connector on the motherboard. Okay, anyways, once we've done that, let's go ahead and start disconnecting cables. So we're going to remove this first. I just get underneath here with my fingernail and pop it up just like that. You can use pry tools if you want, use plastic ones, and then we'll pop this one up as well. Okay, it helps sometimes to go on 2 corners at once and then just pull it up just like that. All right, then we're going to slowly, carefully peel this up. Be careful not to crease it, so try and keep it as flat as you can, and then just pull on it. Okay. And usually there's a sticker here. Sometimes it will tear and then there'll be exposed foam, but this one has a plastic along the whole thing, I guess. So again, put this aside, make sure you don't lose it. There's also a model number of the cable here, 821-1339-A, if you somehow break this. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and take out this fan because it's in the way using the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Okay. If I didn't mention, that's what we used for the battery as well. All right, there's 3 screws holding this fan in place. These 2 and then 1 down here. Okay, after you've got those 3 screws out, we can take the fan out. There is, oops, let me mute my phone real quick. Okay, so once you've done that, there's this little latch here that we need to flip up to disconnect or undo the fan cable. So I use my fingernail and flip that up. Okay, it's a little hard to see, but there you go. We flipped that little latch on the end up. You're gonna also peel up the adhesive from here. Then we can go ahead and lift the fan up slightly, pinch the cable underneath with you can see my index finger here, and then use your thumb on top, and then you can use that to kind of help pull it. So that's what I was doing, pulling that, pinching that cable so that it doesn't move around. All right, there we go. This fan is pretty dirty, so we are going to have to clean that up as well. So we'll do that after we take this board out. Okay, so there's 2 more screws holding, or actually, sorry, 1 more screw holding this board in place. So we'll take out that screw. Again, make sure to keep track of it. All right, so just right there, we'll take that out. All right, and then we got this connector here. Usually you can't really grab it with anything, so what you do is grab as close as you can on the cable, pinch it, and then kind of wiggle it up and down or side to side, whatever you're, depending on which way you're looking at it. So like that, and there we go. We can pull this connector out. Right, you can see now this board kind of lifts up a little bit. We're gonna also have to pull the, this is the eyesight or webcam cable. So I use 2 of my thumb fingernails to kind of, same thing, wiggle this connector as I kind of pull on it, and there you go, it pops out. Be very careful, because if you break this cable, you won't have your camera. Right, then you got the speaker connector here. This cable you get underneath and pop it up. You can use like a small tool to get underneath, but usually what I do is I just get my fingernail. If your fingernails are long enough, you can get it as close as you can to the actual plastic part of the connector, and then you should be able to kind of just pry it up just like that, and there we go. If you have a little plastic like pokey tool, you can actually get in there. You can see there's a little groove there that goes right underneath, so it goes into where the bottom of the connector is, and that helps you pop it out. Anyways, we're gonna move this aside. It looks like there's another connector down here, which on other models don't have that, so this one's different. This one has, I believe that's for the microphone. Okay, so be very careful. We're gonna kind of lift this cable or lift this up and move it a little. Okay, and then we're gonna try and get underneath there again with my fingernail as close as I can to the connector and pop that up. And as you can see, it pops out relatively easily. We're gonna get this out of the way here, and here we go. We have the old connector. You can see on this one, the 2 outer pins are kind of like discolored and burnt. The replacement, because this model's so old, there's only used ones, but here you can see the connector here is a lot better. It's all the same color. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this stuff up, and I'll be back to install this new one, or the replacement one. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and install this one. So the only tricky part is making sure all these cables are up and out of the way, and then you kind of go in slightly at an angle. Don't try and shove it in sideways. Okay, make sure all 3 cables are out of the way. Okay, again, making sure these cables are out of the way is the hard part. I guess it helps to kind of do it this way as well. Oh yeah, so this one you actually go up at this angle, okay, and then you can kind of tilt it over as you get this in. There we go. And then you want to make sure that the headphone jack here goes into the hole. You can actually see the plastic lines up there. Okay, and then while you're holding this in place, we'll take the 1 screw that was at the bottom and get that in. Okay, if you want, you can also use your charger. Make sure your charger isn't plugged into the wall, and then you can use that to stick it, and it will hold that into place. And then we'll just go ahead and tighten this screw down here. All right, there we go. That screw is good. We can go ahead and click this in. Just make sure it's all lined up. And then, all right, once you get it lined up, click it down, just like that. This one, make sure you hook this back in over there. So make it go around this metal post there, and then lock that, slide that in right there. All right, then we'll line this one up and click that into place. All right, make sure you put it the right side up. All right, now we got the headphone, or not the headphone, the webcam eyesight camera connector here. Get that lined up, and then you can use your fingernails or plastic tools or whatever to pull the wings down into place, just like that. There we go. Okay, now we got this connector, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna just move this out of the way for now. Actually, can we get this in and then the fan? Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and plug this in. If it's in the way, we'll have to unplug it and then get the fan. All right, once you get that, I like to pinch here and here to get that connector into place. Good. Then you can kind of tuck that down into there. All right, now we'll get the fan. Okay, make sure to get all the dust out, so as much as you can. Then lift this up, get the fan into place. Make sure the latch is up, line up the connector, and then get the fan in. Once you get it in, you'll see it bulges here. You can use that to help push that into place. And then slide your finger over the latch to lock it down, just like that, okay? All right, we're gonna need the 3 fan screws back in. Loosely fit them first, don't tighten them down right away. So we're just gonna get this fan screw here. So this is the shortest one. This one is about the longest with also like a fat end on top. Okay. And then this one is a long one, but thin on top. All right. All right, so now that we got all 3 screws in, you can pull the fan and the heatsink together and then go ahead and tighten these screws down. Okay, this is just to make sure it has as close of a fit as possible. There we go. Good. Then we'll get this connector and we'll put this back. If you're wondering, how do you know which side goes where? You can see where the fan is, all right? If you put it upside down, obviously it's gonna block the fan, okay? So you don't wanna do that, okay? Get that lined up, you'll know because it stays in place, and then click it down. Same thing with this one, you'll see, and then click it down. All right, if you want, you can push the adhesive back down, and that's pretty much it for installing that. Let's go ahead and put the battery back in. We likely will have to get a replacement battery. I have a feeling the battery is gonna be somewhere around $40 to $60. But yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get the battery here. I don't know if this is the right model, but it's A1377 or A1405. I'm gonna actually check based on the model of the laptop itself. Usually the A1369 battery, you can search that, and then make sure you know what year model your MacBook Air is, because it varies from year to year and it might be the wrong one. All right, so that's pretty much it. We're just gonna get the 5 screws for the battery back in, and then the bottom cover back on. I already took the bottom cover screws out earlier, but this time I'll actually show you how to put them back. And that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, again, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, again, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, this battery's not lining up with the screw, so I'm going to loosen these a little bit because they're not lining up. That's why a lot of times I like to just loosely fit the screws first, because sometimes things don't line up here like this. I don't know why it's like that. There we go. Okay, and the last one here. Alright, and that's, yeah, pretty much it. We'll get the bottom cover on, snap it on. Again, normally the battery would have a little clip here that clips onto the bottom cover and holds it into place, but in this case it doesn't. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this bottom cover back on. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and get the P5 or Pentalobe 1.2 screwdriver and get these screws back in, and that's all there is to it. Again, thanks for watching. Hopefully it helped you guys. And yeah, you're welcome to stay as I get the rest of these screws back in. Oops. Okay. Not much else to it. They were also missing one screw on this. Last few screws. Alright, and that's it. Let's actually plug it in and power it up. Make sure that the charge light comes on, and we should be good to go. Alright. We got the charger here. I'm gonna flip it over. We'll just plug it in, make sure that the thing lights up. Oh, I use the old charger. Green, and should go to orange if the battery's low enough. I guess it's not. Or maybe the battery's bad so it doesn't detect. Oh yeah, okay, it went to orange now. Alright, and usually what I like to do after hardware changes, I like to, right now it's on. I held the option key so I went to this, but you can shut it down first. And I like to do the Smc and Pram Reset. So Smc reset is Control Option Shift on the left side, and then the power button. This light will go green, then back to orange, assuming your battery isn't fully charged, and then Command Option PNR while it's turning on. or you can turn it on and then press Command Option PNR. Oh, what happened? And all connect all. What was that? Okay, anyways, it booted, so I'm gonna shut it down. Okay, I don't know if someone did some weird custom firmware on here, but anyways, let's go ahead and power it on. Command Option PNR. Hold that down and let's see if it does the PRAM reset. Yeah, it's doing some weird thing. Let's see if it does PRAM reset. Nope. So I think someone put some custom firmware on here, but yeah. Anyways, other than that, that's pretty much it. Normally when you do PRAM reset, after the screen comes on, it'll shut back off and then turn back on, and then it will boot back up, and that's how you know you did the PRAM reset properly. But yeah, other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.